because it's the silly, stupid, fascinating, weird, wonderful. They're my people, and more often than not, they're the geeky people as well.
But this real sense that what you do as you emerge out of Middle Earth in your real life is you hope, because Tolkien's so good at capturing that.
I mentioned Betamax. For anybody older, that's the old version of a video cassette. A video cassette is an old version of a DVD. A DVD is an old set of the cloud.
And I said, I'm not happy, I've got bits wrong here. And she said, yeah, but that's all part of the learning process. That's all part of that makes it unique to you, that those kind of imperfections within it.
Hello and welcome to this, the dusty TV trolley that's stored between classrooms 5B and 5C, brought to you in a stuffy classroom on an afternoon, ready to play a recorded to VHS version of Buddy Song starring Chesney Hawkes, all the while you long to be diving back into that new rabbit hole of wonder and excitement that you have at home. Welcome to Faith Geekery. I'm Tim, and this is...
A bit confused. Hello, I'm Becca, and welcome to Faith and Geekery.
Hi, Becca.
Tim, that was delightful.
Thank you.
It took me right back to the sound of the trolley wheeling down the corridor when your teacher knew it was your turn.
Yeah, that kind of vibes.
They're the vibes that we're going for today.
And it was always the VHS that was clearly someone had spent time while working recording it straight to VHS, badly ripped, just missing out the adverts.
Yeah, pausing for the adverts. That was a skill in itself, wasn't it?
It's a skill that we've long since lost.
What I always liked to do was let the video play on at the end. So you had all of the layers of the different things that had been recorded over, which meant you never actually got to see them again, but they were just...
I love watching the adverts.
Overlapped.
Watching the old adverts back later.
Old school
especially
adverts.
Years later. Yeah. Like the classic McDonald's advert. Anyway, welcome to Faith and Geekery. As always with Faith and Geekery, let's start with what geeky thing have you been up to this week? Please let us know in the comments. Or if you're watching this back later, let us know in the Discord. So Becca, what have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to? I should have prepared for this. I've been down YouTube rabbit holes and a few, and I think I've just been drowning out some of that kind of summertime end of term stress and prep for various things this summer by watching. It's been quite a lot of political stuff, actually. Kind of people having rants on Instagram and saying we can do better than what we've been doing. And making paper roses. That has been my primary thing. Oh, look at that. It's the size of my head.
That is a pretty big rose.
That is a big old rose made out of a well-known book with holding hymns and psalms.
Is it a black bound book?
A navy blue bound book, yes.
Is it? Oh.
Yes, and in defense of this very beautiful paper rose, they were being put into recycling bins. So I have rescued them from an early death.
I mean, you're bringing new life to those.
I brought new life, yes.
Posers.
Yes.
And hymns which have probably not been sung that much.
Well, this one has hymn number 63, All My Hope on God is Founded.
Is it?
Hymn number 106, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And hymn number 87, The Angel Gabriel from Heaven Came.
Gabriel.
That's Gabriel.
That's a solid one. That only comes out for 2 months of the year.
Oh, I do like a good carol. It's nearly Christmas.
Yeah. It's nearly there was this Christmas in July sale with the tea company that I prefer, but I didn't purchase any this year because I was good. But
what geeky things have you been up to?
Oh, what have I been up to? I have been doing a lot of world building for a specific D&D campaign, which has taken up quite a lot of my brain space when I'm not working.
Talk us through the process of building a world for D&D.
Okay, so the current world building rabbit hole that I've dived down into is Roman armies, Roman legions, structures of how they operated, what advances they brought out through their military conquest of Europe, and payment, while also combining that with the maps I have, some of the world building ideas I have. But then I segued into designing items for players. And then I segued back into, okay, I need to work out stats for creatures that they might be facing, just so I know what I'm doing dice checks against. I jump around a lot. It's one of those things where you can do like a massive micro look and zoom in on a specific area of the world you're building and extrapolate from there, or it's best to do like a shotgun approach to everything.
You kind of go, see, that's how I kind of approach most chores, most housework, is if I just keep going and keeping myself engaged, which doesn't necessarily mean that I finish every task, but I keep going, then eventually I do the full circuit.
Like world building in D&D is kind of like being at least to me, is kind of like being a piano teacher, and you're 3 lessons ahead of the student. That's mostly what it's like. So I've roughly sketched out most things, so I know where things are, and I roughly know what I want to happen there. And some things I've already like placed a peg down. It's like, yes, I know where that is, so I can face back to it later.
I had a great chat on Sunday. We went to a ceramics fair at some hall, and it was a really, really broad spectrum, from incredibly fine china, kind of paper thin china, all the way through to a man doing a study on depression and mental health. So that, a really broad spectrum of artists that are using clay as their medium. And there were several that had got kind of whimsical, fantastical characters. So I was going around having chats with these different people, and someone was saying how as she's doing clay, they kind of just reveal themselves to her. So she doesn't go in with any particular goal in building it, and she certainly doesn't want them all to look identical, which is really difficult. You have to keep checking yourself not to make it all look like they're all related. But one woman, she was sat with a friend who's just taken up D&D. So I was telling her about, kind of the development of my character, what I'd like to explore in terms of shadow self, and in terms of things that I want to grapple with in an alternative storytelling method. And she said the reason she'd taken up D&D is that she's a support worker for a young man with autism, and he's finding his way in the world and navigating what it is to feel emotions and to express emotions through the medium of D&D and alternative storytelling. And there was just something, these little moments where I could say, this is where I find meaning and purpose in exploring stories and community and faith-based stuff. And she could do similar from her end of it, of she's wanting to work well in the world and engage well with people. And this was while a friend is there with these incredible sculptures of hares and people with horns. And it was a really good chat.
Ooh. I love that. I went to go get tea on Sunday as well, actually, and I went to go get some tea, and then I suddenly had a conversation around whether I believe in ghosts, and having a full conversation about that, and kind of coming up to the essentially as someone who is working for a Christian organization and is Christian, I should technically believe in ghosts, because
why?
It's if my logic on this is, hey, rabbit hole in the what we've done geeky, is if I don't want to say no to something because for all I know, it's an aspect of what heaven could be, or your process of passing on to heaven, or it's a supernatural thing. If I say I don't believe anything supernatural, well, actually, we kind of already believe that as Christians because the first thing we believe is based on a miracle.
Yeah, but
I
mean, I would go so far as to say I'm not sure I believe in an anthropomorphized devil.
Yeah.
I'm not, so ghosts kind of fall down quite a long way in the
Do
whole
they?
need to believe in things. Yeah, I
It's-
mean,
it-
I wouldn't hang my hat on it. I'm not that bothered.
It's not that I'm it's not that I'm pro ghost. It's
Team
like,
Ghost over here.
yeah, it's like I'm not pro ghost, but I'm also not saying, yeah, that's definitely like nothing. I don't believe that at all. Like, I'm opening myself to the possibility there are things out there I will not know and will not understand.
Yeah. I'm quite
And
happy to sit in that space. I'm not
happy
sure I would have a sentence that says, as a Christian, I feel I should believe in ghosts.
I mean, we believe in the Holy Ghost.
Spirit.
Which spirit?
Spigot.
Anyway.
Yes. I mean,
Shall
it's all metaphor, isn't it? It's all language we use to describe the undescribable.
Yeah.
So
do you know what isn't language to describe the undescribable? Geeky news.
Speaking of not describing the undescribable,
roll that stinger.
Oh no, you didn't set me up for that.
Sorry,
I'm not on that page.
Should I set you up again?
Yeah, hang on.
Ready?
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, just give me the nod.
Yeah, go on.
Roll that stinger. This is the Faith and Geekery news, broadcast to your home and around the world.
Slick.
Hey.
That's what we are.
Well-oiled machine. So there's been quite a bit of geeky news this last week. The first one is the kind of uncanny valley of geeky news. And the animatronic of Walt Disney was revealed at one of the Disney parks in the States. And yeah, it's an animatronic.
Is that what's in the top left-hand corner of the screen? Is a quite a realistic looking,
very
man.
uncanny valley. I kind of really I love the talent of sculptors and people that do animatronics to make them look that real. Also terrifies me. But so that's happened this week. Scary. But also, harkening back to childhood days, not for me, but for other people maybe, Balamory is getting a revival.
What's the story in Balamory?
And it's getting a revival at the BBC. Most of the original cast are back. So you got PC Plum, you got Edie McCready, the bus driver. You got Pocket Polly, you got Miss Hooley. But you've also got some new people. You got that person in the top corner is the new vet. And there's also a new scientist who Archie has gone, maybe because Miles Jupper's presenting a BBC 4 show or something. Nice. But that was revealed this week with a lovely cast photo of the new script. What revealed this morning actually is the poster and a little bit the story for Avatar: Fire and Ash, which is the third movie in the Avatar franchise. And the poster is basically a half-face shot of the villain of the, and it's basically
Wait, how do we know that's the villain?
Because they've said.
Oh.
So that is so for those that are joining on podcast, it's basically someone who is Na'vi with like fire and ash around them with a headdress and war paint, and this person is basically what they've revealed is they are the leader of the Ash people, which are Na'vi, which have turned away from Awa and their god because a volcano erupted and destroyed their people and their land, and now they are going on the hunt for revenge. So the Sully family are going to have to deal with the human element of villainy, and also the Na'vi villainous element as well.
I just naturally, because I was paying attention, but I also
Mhm.
need to Google while you're talking. Other search engines are available. It wasn't
Mhm.
Google at all. It was Ecosia. Next to that picture is Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal is not in this movie, as far as I'm aware.
Well, why is his lovely,
Oh yes,
lovely
yes,
face
no, yes, because the
beside
trailer.
the
No,
poster?
no, because the trailer for this movie, which comes out in December, by the way, is being aired alongside Fantastic Four: First Steps this weekend.
Ah,
probably
there we
why.
go. This will
Then-
teach me for skim reading badly.
Yeah. And then we've got the news that was revealed last week that CBS are cancelling The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Not just getting rid of him, just fully cancelling it. There's been lots of stories about it.
That was part of the political deep dive and rabbit holing I was doing.
But there was I did see a really lovely video this morning they did last night for the show where they had Lin-Manuel Miranda and Weird Al Yankovic playing Viva La Vida. And they were going into the audience and doing a Coldplay kiss cam and finding loads of late night hosts who are all there in solidarity, which I thought was really lovely. And then the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer dropped with Carl Urban playing as Johnny something. Johnny.
It's giving me Matrix vibes.
So here's the fun thing. That trailer dropped, but the morning before it dropped, so Carl Urban's character Johnny is a failed 80s into 90s action movie star in the style of Steven Seagal, in the eyes of Steven Seagal and all that such. And yeah, they basically did a fake trailer for all of his movies, so people got an idea of who the character was before the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer dropped. And finally, yes, as Mark has said in the comments, it was about an hour ago, it was reported that sadly Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. A few weeks after his farewell concert. So what more to be said, really?
It's kind of incredible that, and you kind of see that with people that have lived a really active working life, hit retirement, and not always, don't want to obviously put that on people, but it can happen where someone kind of retires, or they have the visit from the final grandchild, or they've completed the thing that they wanted to complete. Do you want to sing that, Brandon? One last ride on the crazy train.
We'll get demonetized.
But there's something really bitter. If you were going to start your next chapter in the life ever after, what would be the massive concert equivalent? What would be the thing that you'd want to have happened just before you die?
I already know which hymns and music I want at my funeral.
Yeah, that's morbid. What?
I've written them down and done a service plan.
Yes, but what would you? Ignoring the funeral bit, you won't be there.
Ignoring the fact that I'm actually dead.
Yes. Well, while you're still alive,
while I'm still around,
if you could go out on a bang, what would be the thing that you would go out on?
I mean, I think that like impossible for me, but I would love for someone to do this eventually. Being the first person to land on Mars and then promptly dying on Mars.
I mean, that's highly likely.
So,
those two things could go hand in hand.
Successfully landing and successfully doing the photo, doing the shot, we've landed on Mars, and then successfully dying on the planet, causing the next group of people that come out to Mars, they are going there to basically pick up the body. So they're the first to land and the first to die.
I mean, that would be quite epic. I think I just want to be somewhere beautiful. Somewhere beautiful that I haven't been before. A bit like all the wateriness in Avatar 2.
Yes. Oh,
All
that
that
was a
watery
beautiful movie.
goodness.
That was a really good
But
one.
our love and thoughts go out to Ozzy Osbourne's family.
Mhm.
Mark would like to know if your funeral song is Life on Mars.
No, it's not. One of my funeral songs is Old Churchyard. So it's like a really nice It's a really nice haunting song that goes like, "Come with me to the old churchyard." That kind of song. I will send it to you later in chat.
It does
but-
feel a bit trivial, knowing how many people are dying around the world at the moment. I just say, as I said, thoughts and prayers go out to Ozzy Osbourne's family. But what about all the other people dying? There you go. That is the geeky rabbit hole. Is actually we're not in a good place at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's not okay.
Do you mean to do a morbid segue?
What is our morbid can't say
morbid segue? Yeah. Well, speaking of the trivial matters of people dying around the world, and we're focusing on Ozzy Osbourne, let's go to trivia and the quiz.
Oh, that was so depressing. Right, hang on. Let me go and find the quiz. Are you ready?
Welcome to Faith and Geekery, where we've definitely gone into the end of term slightly morbid angle.
It's that if you'll bear with us, that last week of term where the teachers are on their knees with exhaustion and all they can think of is colouring sheets and a decent movie, and that is probably
I have a distinct memory of my French teacher, who I think has since died, going out during like the last couple of weeks of term and just regularly going to the pub and having a 4-pint lunch and coming back and just doing classes in the afternoon.
Is that not normal teaching? No, is that not what you're supposed to do?
He was of an era of teaching.
Okay.
Where
I did a teaching placement like that. They all wore patches on their elbows and smoked pipes during the breaks.
He's the guy that taught me French and very lazily just read all the questions out of the book and told us to write it all down. It was that kind of stuff. But anyway, the quiz.
I got questions. The quiz.
That was good. You're reading the questions and I'm here.
Yeah, I got the questions.
Yeah. So basically, it's just like a lens of shame on.
No, you can just actively argue with me when I.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Okay, let's do that. I'm not even going to write it down.
Okay. So for those who are joining on podcast or those who are watching this, usual thing apply. We've got 5 questions, 5 answers. You get 5 points. Bonus points may be awarded arbitrarily because that's how we do things on here. If you argue yourself into a point, you'll probably get a point because I'm just not, because that's how it normally happens.
Because that's how it works.
Let us know in the comments or in our Discord, which you can join in the doobly-doo, and let us know. But anyway, question number 1. Becca, some of these questions, by the way, you might remember.
Oh no, don't say that.
These are inspired by the fact that last week of school, so I'm just bringing out old questions. So, which of the following songs was simultaneously #1 on the US and UK singles chart for the longest length of time? And those options are I Wanna Dance With Somebody by Whitney Houston, Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams, Shape of You by Ed Sheeran, and WAP by Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion. Which of the following songs was simultaneously #1 in the US and UK singles chart for the longest length of time? I Wanna Dance With Somebody by Whitney Houston, Everything I Do It For You, Bryan Adams, Shape of You by Ed Sheeran, and WAP by Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion.
Could you just sing me, D, please?
I am hearing my lawyer talking to me in the background and is advising me strongly to not do that. Question number 2. Which of the following comedians did Richard Ayoade start his career alongside at Cambridge Footlights? David Mitchell, John Oliver, Alex Horne, and Sue Perkins. Which of the following comedians did Richard Ayoade start his career alongside at Cambridge Footlights? David Mitchell, John Oliver, Alex Horne, Sue Perkins.
See, I remember the question. I don't remember the answer.
Well, this is a new one. The next question, number 3, is a new one. On this day, the 22nd of July, 2020, not 2025, on the 22nd of July, on this day in 1894, the first race of its kind happened. What was the race? A bicycle race, a dog race, a motor race, or an aeroplane race? On this day, the 22nd of July, in 1894, the first race of its kind happened. What was the race? A bicycle race, a dog race, a motor race, or an aeroplane race?
Okay.
I have a fun fact for the answer to that question as well.
Mhm.
Question number 4. Which actress who plays a mystery-solving millennial who adopts 2 flamboyant grandfathers was born on this day in 1992? Cara Delevingne, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Emily Osment. Which actress who plays a mystery-solving millennial who adopts 2 flamboyant grandfathers was born on this day in 1992? Cara Delevingne, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Emily Osment.
No idea. If I knew what that was referring to, I assume I would know
I
the answer.
can't.
Oddly.
I've had to disguise the show. If not, you would have got it quite easily.
Well, disguise it slightly less.
2
flamboyant. God.
Who plays a mystery-solving millennial who adopts 2 flamboyant grandfathers.
No, you just said that slower.
Okay, different way of saying it would be as a hint. It's something like all of these murders happen in the same location.
I know. Yes. I can't remember who's in it though.
Mm-hmm. Take a guess.
Right, okay. 5.
And finally, question number 5. Viatina 19 is now considered the most valuable cow in the world. It has milk white fur, twice the average weight for other cows of the same breed, and excellent muscle structure. How much is she worth now? $2.9 million, $3.9 million, $4.9 million, $5.9 million. Viatina 19 is now considered the most valuable cow in the world. It is milk white fur, twice the average weight of other cows of the same breed, and excellent muscle structure. How much is she now worth? $2.9 million, $3.9 million, $4.9 million, or $5.9 million? That was the least depressing cow news story I found in the last week to make a question about.
Is she a free-range cow?
Yes, weirdly. I did a deep dive into this. It is weird. They're selling. They are no. She has milk white fur. She is 1,105 pounds, which is twice the weight of a cow of her breed. They're selling her eggs for $250,000.
Hang on a second. Okay, sorry. Confused. Just a momentary confusion there about why a cow was selling eggs. Because I'm like, oh, that is a valuable cow. If she does milk and eggs, that's a whole breakfast.
Oh dear. Well, where's the pork coming from? Where's the pork coming from, Becca?
I'm okay with not having pork, depending on whether it was a happy pig first.
You know what? let's go. Let's come back and do those answers. Question number one.
Okay, let's do
Which of
that.
the following songs were simultaneously #1 in the US and UK singles chart for the longest length of time? It was Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. That was 11 weeks. Bryan Adams with the classic Everything I Do, brackets, I Do It For You, close brackets, was 9 weeks. Thank you, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And I Want to Dance with Somebody and WAP were 2 weeks apiece.
I didn't understand the question.
So as they were #1 for both at the same time in both the US and UK singles chart.
Yeah.
So at the combined time they were there at the same time. Question number 2. Which of the following comedians did Richard Ayoade start his career alongside of at Cambridge Footlights?
I
David
put
Mitchell,
Alex and Sue.
David Mitchell, and John Oliver.
So I was wrong on all counts. Dear.
Here's the fun one. On this day in 1894, the first race of its kind happened. What was the race?
I've written aeroplane. I want to say dog.
It was motor. But here's the thing, right?
That's
It was held in,
interesting because I meant to write motor, but I wrote aeroplane, but wanted to say dog. Oh,
so
God.
here's the fun fact.
What's
It was a
going
race
on?
between Paris and Rion, and the winner was disqualified because
Why?
technically their vehicle was not a motor vehicle. It was
What
a
was it?
steam-powered engine and required a stoker. And by the parameters they'd set out for what they're deeming as an engine motor vehicle, a steam-powered car did not qualify, ergo, they were disqualified after they won the race.
But they weren't the fastest.
They were the fastest. They were the fastest and
wow.
won, but they got disqualified afterwards when they saw that they had a stoker and a steam engine powered car. The guy that came second won, ergo, and was driving a Peugeot. But
Peugeot?
Yeah, but think.
What year is this?
1894. But Peugeot used to do like like pepper grinders and corsets and ammunition during the war and bicycle pumps, and they've done everything. It's like Nintendo started off by selling trading card, like playing cards, love hotels before they go into game systems and stuff. Question number 4. Which actress who plays a mystery-solving millennial who adopts 2 flamboyant grandfathers was born on this day in 1992? It was Selena Gomez.
I did write that down.
Yeah, because she's in Only Murders in the Building.
I know, but I didn't know that. I'd recognise her if I looked at her face and was like, "Oh yeah, you have a name that's famous." You're listening to the complete meltdown of my brain today.
Well, question number 5. Viatina 19 is now considered the most valuable cow in the world.
The egg-laying cow, ladies and gentlemen.
She is now worth $4.9 million.
I wrote 4.9.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it's basically the reason. It's a bit of a weird way of why they're the most expensive cow now, because someone bought a 33% stake, pun intended, in the cow.
What's her name? Vianetta.
Viatina, Viatina -19 is £1,105, so double the size of a cow of her breed. And yeah, someone bought like a percentage stake in her, and they just tripled that stake to get the current value. But that her eggs,
I see.
Yeah, but her eggs have been sold for £250,000 each, in the hopes that her genetic material can be passed down to future generations.
See, I mean, as long as they're happy and looks after and have it. She's a funny looking girl, isn't she?
I know, it's that breed with the hump.
The breed with the hump.
Yeah, breed with the hump. A camel.
She is a cow camel. A real apron of kind of cow flesh, cow skin.
Yeah, that was like one of the things I was like, is that what's are we wanting loose skin
cow
on a
skin.
cow? Well, I suppose then it would make for better leather, I think, because there's no stretch marks.
I don't know.
Neither do I. Anyway, we can think about this. Anyway, there's the quiz. Becca, I think you got at least 2.
Definitely got 2. If I'd written down, instead of writing aeroplane, wrote machine.
I mean, aeroplane would have been a good answer, because I was thinking like the first airplane was around that time.
Yeah, but
I didn't want to put horse
I
racing.
didn't write what my brain was telling my hand to write, which is very interesting.
I'm gonna go with what your brain was thinking or what your hand was going to write.
So that would be 3 points.
That'd be 3 points. Yeah. There you go, 3 points.
Good. And if I'd listened to the opening question rather than writing A, B, and C, because they all ran for a length of time at the same time as.
Yeah, they all ran for a length of time
at the same time as number ones.
Yes.
Which is how I heard the question. Which of these ran for a length of time together in the UK? Well, these all did.
Well, they did, but concurrently. But who did it concurrently for the longest length of time?
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
So with Whitney Houston, I think it was the UK. Her single went to number 2 after 2 weeks. Therefore, concurrently, they were 2 at the same time. Whereas Everything I Do, brackets, I Do It For You, close brackets.
Is Mark denying my full answer there?
I think Mark is denying the full answer.
Mark is denying.
But I'm here.
Yeah, it's true.
If
you want to have an opinion, get your voice in the game. That's what I would suggest.
It's more. I'm in charge of the quiz, so I will give arbitrary points out where I want. But there we go. There's the quiz.
There's the quiz.
We've alluded to it, and the fact that we're about 40 minutes into a 1-hour episode.
Yeah, we're doing so well.
You could tell we've got that end of term fever.
If you were to watch an end of term movie, what would it be?
Oh, so in the intro, I in preparation for this, I did go back and think of what end of term movies I watched. I remember in primary school we watched Titanic.
Gosh.
Yeah, we had to have a letter sent home to get permission to watch. We had to watch it over 2 afternoons, and we watched the whole unedited full length.
Where did they stop it in order for you to watch?
Well, halfway through. So I think when it got hit is when we stopped.
Is that halfway through?
I think so.
Half of the movie.
I know the fun fact about the Titanic is from when the Titanic is hit, to when it's fully submerged.
Yeah.
That length of time, the time it took in real life, is the length of the original theatrical cut, I believe. Or it's this length of time when it got hit in the movie to when it sunk.
Oh, as in real life?
Yeah. So that was one of the end of term movies. The other one was Buddy Song with Chesney Hawk, which was a sequel to Buddy. It was a book about a child whose dad is obsessed with who's the musician that died by his plane crashed into a mountain? Buddy
Holly.
Yeah, Buddy Holly. His dad's obsessed with Buddy Holly, so he calls his son Buddy.
That?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
So his dad's obsessed with Buddy Holly, so he calls his son Buddy, and then it's this child's story about watching his parents basically fall out of love and divorce, and he's stuck between them, and he's one who supports his dad, music stuff. But Buddy's Song was the TV follow-up to the original to the original movie, to the book, and it was a kickstart for Chesney Hawks because he's there as a now teenage Buddy who is learning he's actually a good singer, and his dad wants to push him to go into music, and his mum doesn't want him to do it, and then it ends with him singing "I Am the One and Only."
Nice.
Which was how they launched his song, I believe. I remember watching that.
Gosh, we're going back quite a long way, aren't we?
And then because the other thing I remember was because school curriculum always did Shakespeare in the summer, we always ended up watching some Shakespeare movie at some point. Although one year we watched, you might remember this. So like a couple of years ago, BBC did a 4-part series of Romeo and Juliet, but they got 2 different schools. So they got like a real like prep school, like exclusive buy your way in prep school, and one of the and a school nearby, like low grades, lots of violence and all this stuff, and got them to come together to do a production of Romeo and Juliet.
Ooh.
And they got like professional Shakespearean actors in and all that, and a professional Shakespearean director to actually direct their school production of Romeo and Juliet. But they set it with it wasn't Mods and Rockers. It was Mods and Rockers. It was Mods and Rockers. So the Capulets and Montagues and Mods and Rockers. I remember watching that at one point in the summer.
See, I think I miss, because I wouldn't necessarily choose to watch that, but I do miss someone curating my viewing and reading experiences. I miss that about school. I miss someone saying, actually, you might quite like this, or you're going to read this and like it, or pay attention anyway. Otherwise, you just self-select your stuff all the time, and then the algorithms catch you, and you end up.
It was the algorithms before.
Niche rabbit holes, isn't it?
It was the algorithms before they were algorithms. It was the teachers trying to put the curriculum, but also what they were interested in onto us, so we would carry that on.
I kind of miss that. Human beings having an input into what my soul is consuming.
We should just do curated lists of things for each of us to watch over the summer.
That's not a bad idea. We can create an end of school reading list and homework for the summer.
End of school playlist.
End of school playlist.
Of which is like, our this is our school disco, end of term school disco. Here's the music that we're putting on. Here's the summer blockbusters we're going to go watch in the summer.
Have we got a summer blockbuster list?
Oh no, we don't. Well, apart from there is one, and there is only going to be one. It's going to be Fantastic Four. Quickly looking at summer movies for this year.
I did see something coming out Wednesday. That's coming out 8th of August.
That's a TV show.
Yes, I know, but was what was at the top of my mind, and we're just not going to question my mind today.
Movies that are coming out. I mean, aside from aside from Fantastic Four, Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh.
And Naked Gun.
Huh?
Freakier Friday.
Huh? Oh, I have seen it.
It's free. It's free. So that's Freaky Friday, but it's now Lindsay.
It's not just a remake of Freaky Friday. It is the
sequel.
It's the second cast. It's a sequel to the original, or one of the originals.
And then the weird. It's not technically a summer blockbuster movie, but I want it to be a summer blockbuster movie so much. Is Nobody 2. It's basically that it's the concept of Taken, where it's like middle-aged retired man is an absolute badass with weaponry and goes on a killing spree for a righteous cause. And this time it's a sequel to the first movie, and where he's just on holiday with his family and people are just out to try and kill him on holiday, and he's trying to not ruin his family's holiday.
Do they find out that he's trying to?
They know, and they're more frustrated that their holiday is being ruined by these random assassins coming to kill him.
Oh,
but no, like summer blockbusters is definitely. So my seeking suggestion that we don't really have summer blockbusters anymore. because and here's my thinking.
Well, that list was fairly dire, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, here's my thinking though, right? It's like, because it's not that the market's oversaturated, it's because we don't have that, like, we're not curating things anymore. So for example, like when I think back to like movies that came out during the summer when I was growing up, there was like 5, 6 big movies that came out in the summer, and they were like, we have to go see them. And there were lots of the movies that came out, but those were the 6 big movies. Or there was a big new TV series, and that's what we were going to watch. Or there is an album drop Wednesday. But now it's like because lots of things are being released on streaming, and
Yes,
you
you don't have to wait to see epic blockbusters. As soon as people could buy even DVDs and probably videos.
I think with the advent of streaming, though, that there isn't really that epic blockbuster, because interestingly, speaking of Fantastic Four, there was a movie that was going to come out in 1994 of the Fantastic Four. It was famously filmed, recorded, and then canned. It was not released because it was not great quality. Like, I think someone compared it to like Amateur Dramatic Society, who blew all their budget on special effects. It was that kind of like really bad movie, but it never got released. And now even really bad movies get released, even if it's on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So you could be like really excited for something excited for something, and it never appears.
But what we do get, I think, more of are quite epic TV series that are bingeable.
Yes.
The idea of binging something because it's so good, it's not just the length of Titanic, it's hours and hours and hours worth of TV that you can absolutely, yeah. And that has shifted how we've told story and how TV is done. And that's why we get, kind of A-lister movie people. What are they called? Actors.
The people that are in the movies, the actors.
I can just feel my brain slowly wearing down, going, in a minute you're going to start dribbling.
I don't think you're talking about actors. I think you're talking about the props department.
Anyway.
But it's that kind of thing of like, I mean, I've also seen the weird shift towards so there's a revival happening, not in the church, but there's a revival.
There is also a revival happening in church.
There's a revival happening of my favorite ever TV show. Scrap Heap Challenge is coming back.
What? That is quite a quality show.
But they have renamed it for this summer only to Zap Heap Challenge, and the challenge is to make a vehicle fully electric.
Ooh.
But they got Robert Llewellyn back. They've got Colin Furze, who's a YouTube engineering guy, and a few other YouTubers, and it looks really great. And that's where I'm kind of like, as looking at like the positives. So you've got, Robert Llewellyn's back, classic format, new people, new generation, but also people who are really passionate, and you've seen their channel and all their stuff grow and develop over years, now getting back involved. And I'm like, yes, I want to see more of that. I don't really want the probably very expensive to make, but not that great TV show or movie that's not great. I want that deeply passionate set of people who are doing things. So like, we know only like 20 people are going to love this, but those 20 people are going to love it so much. I kind of want to see that more.
Which is pretty much Faith and Geekery.
Yeah.
We know it's not going to have great numbers of people. However, for the people that stick around, then that's exactly who it's for.
Yeah.
Okay. Bringing it back round. So, when you're breaking up for summer, and it's an opportunity to kind of shed some of the things, throw out the grey school shirts and the shoes that your parents have made you wear for the last few months because it's not worth getting a new pair.
We're going to grow anyway.
Just thinking about, your soul What is
Mhm.
it that you're wanting to kind of let go of and throw away
Oh.
as we kind of come into the end of this academic year?
Oh.
What is the grey shirt of your soul?
For podcast viewers, I'm pondering and looking pensive as I think about this answer. It's not just dead air. Do not worry.
Well, I'm hoping that our podcast listeners are also listening and thinking, if I
Yeah.
could get rid of the shoes that have the hole in,
By
that
God.
are pinching my toes, that are not fit for purpose anymore,
Those
that
I
is
would get.
weighing me down.
Those I would get rid of.
Yes.
But-
But what if that's the metaphor?
Mhm.
What's it representing?
It's weird, but it's the concept of busyness.
Go on.
So maybe because it's just ingrained in this post-industrial educational complex that I grew up in,
Mhm.
of, you know, if you're not doing something productive, then you are not doing something that is useful. And the idea, if you like take rest, you feel like it's like ingrained that if you're resting and you just back of your mind going, you don't deserve this rest, you need to be doing something productive.
Mm.
So that's why, like, the concept of, you have to have a holiday from your holiday, because you're going, right, I'm on holiday now, I need to do all these things, lots of extra stuff, I need to do all this at the same time. If I'm not doing something, I'm not being productive. Whereas we recognize now that that's really bad for your mental and physical health.
Mm.
And actually allowing the space to be, it's not that you're busy, it's that you're actually being really intentional about your time. So, like, for me at the moment, it's normally I do commute drive in the morning, dropping child and partner off at work and to come back. I'm in the car for about an hour and a half by the time I get back home. And I try really hard. I don't always do this right, and because I don't always fit it in. But I try to give myself half an hour at the start of the day to just come in, get a cup of tea, sit with it while it's steeping, sit down, and actually drink it slowly, just so I can have that half an hour of good, intentional rest, recognizing that I'm going from one space into another, and I'm allowing myself the time to go, things are going to come up. I'm going to have a busy day, but that's going to happen later. I'm going to have rest now. And trying to put that in throughout the day. So you don't end up, having the, getting to the end of the day and your brain's, especially if you like neurospicy. Like, I don't know about you, but like, if I've had a really busy day and lots of things are happening, brain is going everywhere all the time.
Yeah, I am a symptom of that
Yeah.
today with my dribbled verbiage.
And like by the end of the day, it's still like my brain's still going, but I'm physically not able to keep going. And it's how can I intentionally slow down?
Yeah.
And
I think,
be a good thing.
I think there's something in this shift. It's going to sound very consumerist, but it's not. It's the, you've carried your tattered diary around that has got fuller and more drawn on and all the rest of it throughout the year. The cover has now fallen off. You've no idea where that is, and it has limped to the finish line. And the summer is a reset. And I think we lose some of that in kind of adult work because there isn't that long 6-month thing. But I think what I want to hang on to is the belief that come September, I can do a little better than I've been doing towards the, and I think, the danger of any kind of diagnosis, self-diagnosis of whatever that is, where we put ourselves into boxes, is that you lose that belief that you can do it better or differently or more effectively or more productively or with more intentionality. And I think for me, it is putting down last year's organizer with the anticipation that, with September starting up and it being a new academic year, a new Methodist year for those of us that are within Methodist systems, that there's always a new way of organizing. There's always a new, and it might be a new app, or it might be a new method, or even a new kind of spiritual practice, contemplative thing, where it's always possible to reset, restart, because tomorrow is always a brand fresh, spanking new day. So I think that's my hope for this year, is that I can my soul gets that spring clean that happens in the summer holidays, with the hope that I'm not destined to always be disorganized. I change my organization systems and manage my expectations of what it is to be the best version of myself, and it might not look like somebody else's best version.
I think that's the key bit, though, is recognizing that
it's just a different
that, so like I was talking about this last week at something that I was leading, and it's the spoon theory, that everyone has the same amount, everyone has different amount of same amount of spoons, but different activities take more spoons, and that's different to everyone else, and that changes even within people depending on if you're like really like hazed out, simple things take longer, or if you're really on it in a good place, things take a lot easier, but that shifts between yourself, and to not compare your capacity of doing something to everyone else's. And
I mean, that's another grey shirt to put down, isn't it? It's comparison.
Very much.
Put it down.
But we can't really put stuff down because we're busy this summer in a really good way.
I've got next week off.
You do have next week off.
Yeah.
And
then, I actually I didn't have it off. I was working next week, but I now have next.
Has that changed since I had a conversation with someone yesterday?
Yes, possibly.
Yes, possibly. Yeah. But we're busy because we're all going on a lovely holiday, kind of.
Sort
together.
of.
Yeah, kind of.
That would be nice. Let's do that. Let's go on that cruise that I sent a link to the other day.
Yeah, the Joko cruise.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing tenting first.
That's true. Looking forward to Greenbelt. Have we got another episode just as we bring this into land? Is there another episode before we close for summer?
I think we have. I think the idea is we might have one next week. It might be. It might be a clip show next week.
Okay.
With people around, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out next week.
We'll find out next week.
Or we'll clip things.
But send us pictures of your summer holiday activities, of your crafts, of your geekiness.
We will be at Greenbelt.
Did you watch my clip of Rent reworked to be the Voyager cast singing?
Yes.
Rent. It made me very happy. It was very pitchy, but it also made me quite happy. Hang on, have we got? Mark's going to be with us next week.
Woo!
So enjoy.
And we'll be at Greenbelt later in the summer.
Later in the summer, so do come. We are planning a meetup.
We don't know when or where.
We don't know when or where, but we will. We might have a better idea. So if you are around at Greenbelt, please let us know.
Or just come up to us and say hi.
That's true. We'll also be in the Hope and Anchor, which we might forget. No, we won't. No, we're not going to forget we're doing that. But we might forget. We might forget to remind you that we're in the Hope and Anchor.
But also consult your Greenbelt programs if you have them.
Yes, because we did spend some time writing some blurb for that.
We did. So come see us. Come say hi. If not, we'll probably be in the Jesus Arms or just around in general.
Yeah. Mark's going to drop a snippet of one of our future projects.
Yeah.
Future projects. So there is that kind of, in the heat of the summer, as everything's winding down, there's the anticipation of of the cooler evenings and days of harvest and autumn and then all the joy of Christmas. So
I
yeah.
I am taking though the first week off in September, so I'm missing the Methodist New Year. But I'm going on holiday, so I'm missing
Well,
that.
that throws out all of the metaphor.
No, but I also know how busy. I've looked at my
yes,
schedule.
yes. No, I was doing that today, and September, October. Oh, what a joy!
Yeah,
Yes. Not busy. Not busy.
We should compare
Yeah.
notes and then just find like where we're at the same meetings.
Yeah, that would be joyous.
I think we are actually at a lot of the same meetings.
It's true. Well, thank you very much for being with us. Have a think over the next week as we enter into the summer holidays. I am sorry if you are, like many of us, working and not able to take weeks and weeks off.
Or if you are working and you have like an afternoon that you're doing something, please let us know. Also, this is taking as an opportunity to try and find the rest where you can in your busy work life. Take the rest where you can and do something that you're really passionate about that sets you on fire, not physically, but the weather is really hot right now.
Unless that's the thing.
In which case I would probably strongly advise don't set yourself on fire. You know, that's not great for your health in the long run.
And on that note, you have been listening to Faith and Geekery, and we will see you next week.
Bye.